Hello, I'm children's author Barry Hutchison. I'm here in a where am I? I'm here in a hotel in somewhere in Durham. I'm in Durham. I'm here visiting the Northern Children's Book Festival. I've done one day. Today was the first day of events that I've done there. I'm doing more tomorrow. Doing 2 days, and tonight I uploaded a video to YouTube showing me reading from the Crowmaster, the third book in the Invisible Fiend series. I wasn't, however, reading out loud. I just read silently to myself. And some of you have expressed your disappointment that you didn't get to hear any of the story. So I'm going to rectify that now, and I'm going to read a little bit of the Crowmaster, a very small extract taken from somewhere about the first third of the book, and this is a genuine extract, and I'm going to read it out loud so you guys get to hear it too. It's still on the computer here. I've got it saved as a Word file, so excuse me while I flick away from you, read it, and then I might flick back. Although I don't really need to see my own face when I'm doing a video, I suppose. If anything, seeing my own face there is actually quite off-putting. It's like having a miniature version of myself. It's like my own conscience, I should say, has been taken out and put kind of there and is looking up at me. And sometimes I think maybe he's whispering stuff to me. Okay. Anyway, yeah, moving on. So yeah, this is a bit from the Crowmaster. Here we go. 2 more steps, and I was crouching down beside the dog. His fur felt matted and damp as I gently patted him. His little body was radiating heat, and I could feel his breath panting in and out. Been running, boy? I said softly. He pulled back a little at the sound of my voice, but otherwise didn't react. I patted him a little more firmly, letting my hand travel across his head and down over his narrow back. As my hand brushed over the fur near his tail, he gave a sharp yelp and leapt backwards. What's the matter? I asked. Are you... In the pale light, I saw the streak of blood on my hand. Hurt? Toto let out another growl. I began to say sorry for hurting him before realizing he wasn't growling at me. His head was craned back, looking up into the trees. His eyes flicked erratically from treetop to treetop, as if searching for something. I stood up and followed his gaze, but could see nothing through the gloom other than the occasional swaying branch. Toto's growling was becoming louder. His tail was between his legs, and the wiry hair on his back was pointing to the sky. Something was scaring him. Badly. It's okay, boy, there's nothing there, I said. It's just the wind making the tree move. That's all. It's nothing to... A black shape swooped down from the treetops. I heard it first, a rustle in the darkness, followed by a faint whoosh as the bird flew past my head. I saw Toto spin on the spot, watched him bare his teeth. He snapped his tiny jaws around thin air, then yelped as the crow pecked sharply at his ear. The whole attack lasted less than a second. The bird was back up in the trees before I could even react. I peered up into the branches, searching for any sign of it. It wasn't easy, but eventually I found it, a darker shade against the grey-black of the evening sky. It folded and unfolded its wings a few times as I watched, but otherwise didn't show any sign of moving. I turned back to Toto, only to find him flat on his belly. His eyes were open, still staring up into the trees. He was shivering and whining softly, and I could see a deep cut in his ear where the bird had nipped at him. Don't worry, it's staying up there, I said, glancing back to where I expected to see the bird. But instead of one black shape, I saw 2. They sat together on a high limb, so close they were almost touching. A movement in the branches above them caught my eye. Another crow sat there, glaring down. My eyes moved slowly across the canopy of treetops, finding more and more dark outlines perched on every branch. There were dozens of them, easily 50 or more. A few of them gave hoarse, croaky caws as my gaze swept over them. "Okay," I muttered, steadying myself. "It's nothing. They're just birds." I made a move towards Toto. A few of the crows hopped down onto lower branches. Their eyes shone against their masks of black feathers, flicking from me to the dog and back again. I hesitated for a moment, watching the birds. They shuffled from foot to foot, but kept their wings folded against their backs. "Just birds," I repeated below my breath. I turned and took another step towards the terrified Toto. As if on some secret signal, every one of the birds moved. They leaned forwards on the branches and plunged towards the ground, flicking their wings wide at the last possible moment. The air around me became thick with oily black feathers. They beat against my cheeks and swished through my hair. Flashes of beak and of eyes and of sharp, outstretched claws were all I could see. I ducked down, crossing my hands over my face to protect myself. Just a few meters away, I heard Toto break into a frenzied barking. So I shall leave there for now. That's an extract, an exclusive, never-before-heard extract from Invisible Fiends, Book 3, The Crowmaster, which comes out in some time in the future. February it comes out. February the 3rd or 4th or 5th, somewhere near the start of February. Anyway, you'll be able to read those words that I said in printed form if you buy the book or borrow it from the library or borrow it from a generous friend who would like to have a shot of it. So yes, thanks for tuning in again, and sorry about the pretend Crowmaster reading earlier on. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me. I'm going now because I have work to do. I have 2,000 words to write before tomorrow, and it's now 20 to 10, so I'll be cutting it quite fine. But yeah, tune in again. We'll do another video blog soon. I'm getting new video recording equipment and not using my rubbishy what's it called thing, webcam. Sorry, I forgot what words are tonight. I won't be using my webcam anymore, is what I'm trying to say. I will be using better video recording equipment, so the picture will look better. You'll be able to see my face in more detail, which isn't necessarily a good thing. And the sound will be better as well, because the microphone on this is a load of old pants. Anyway, cheers now. Bye bye. Where's the off button? Where's the off button? Oh, there it is.